Gen Z childhood fears. Bro, what was something that y'all were afraid of as jits? Not gonna lie, this probably isn't like a good fear, but one thing that I was afraid of was Jason from Friday the 13th somehow making his way into my crib, bro. I've seen various horror movies with my mother in theaters, and for some reason, Friday the 13th was one of those ones that really scared the out of me, because that was the first time I was ever introduced to a serial killer. Like, there's genuinely a motherfucker out here that's going around killing people for what? So that shit did scare me. But I wasn't one of those people that was scared of like monsters being under my bed or monsters being in my closet. I actually fucked with the dark. I fucked with the dark. I was afraid of ghosts though. I was afraid of ghosts. This ghost in particular, this thumbnail right here used to fucking scare the shit out of me. Bro, this shit, bro, when I was a jit, this used to scare the dog shit out of me, bro. And I, till this day, have never watched this shit. Grave Encounters, that's what it was. That shit used to scare the fuck out of me, bro. And then I also was one of the niggas that fell for the little follow the right dot shit. And I also fell for the dumbass zombie car shit. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, why y'all put cheese on my cheeseburger?
But let me get into the video, bro. Gen Z childhood fears.
As kids, there were so many random things that scared the crap out of us, and even though most of these fears seem stupid now, back then they felt completely real.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people.
See, Jason, I told y'all.
To be a demon.
So today we're going to be looking back at some of the biggest childhood fears that almost everyone had growing up. If you happen to be new here, please consider subscribing. My goal
I do want to see if anything that he's gonna say is something that I did fear in the past.
Starting off with chain messages. This is definitely one of...
Bro, did y'all believe that shit, bro? I think it was like once or twice where I actually believed that if I didn't send this message to somebody, I was gonna die. And then when it didn't happen, I was like, oh, okay. Never mind.
The more valid things to be afraid of, and I don't think this
is
fear
like the bottom
stops
of the barrel,
after
though.
childhood. This kind of thing can scare you well into your late teens, so yeah, just to give a definition, a chain message is a message that gets passed from person to person and tells whoever receives it that they have to forward it a certain number of times to other people to keep the chain going, and most of them would...
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When it came to that, bro, I think I was more scared of actually receiving the message than having to pass it on. I was more scared of having to hear my phone go off and read a message of, you don't send this to 3 people before 12 a.m. You're gonna receive a lifeless head to your door. Make sure to send this to 3 people now before you encounter this. That shit it never really scared me, bro.
Claim that if you ignored the message or broke the chain, that something terrible would happen to you. These were especially scary as kids because even though you thought the message was probably fake, you received it from someone you trust usually, like a friend, and you definitely don't want to take the chance that the bad thing would happen to you. An example message like this would be like...
No, one thing that did scare me a little bit back in the day was whenever all the when the clown shit was happening, bruh, and niggas would make fake Instagram accounts and DM me as if they were gonna pull up and kill me. That shit used to scare me, I ain't gonna lie. Cause we actually had some clown instances in our area where motherfuckers were dead ass dressing up as clowns and killing people.
A girl named Sarah died in her house 20 years ago and now visits anyone who breaks this chain. Send this message to 15 people before midnight or she will appear at the end of your bed tonight.
20 years in the can. I wanted Manicot. I compromised.
Bro, and this is random too. I ain't gonna lie. What low-key scared me too was like the Bloody Mary shits. Like, I thought that if I actually were to do that, Bloody Mary would come and kill me, bro.
I ate grilled cheese off the radiator instead.
A boy ignored this message in 2009 and was found dead the next morning. Do not break the chain. I remember getting one of these on an app called Skype, which, if you don't know what that is, damn,
Bro, some of y'all don't even know what Skype is. Oh my god. Some of y'all were introduced to Ubu. Nah, some of y'all probably don't even know what Ubu is. Some of y'all's first, like, What do you even call Skype a social media? I guess it would be, because I guess Discord would be considered social media too. Some of y'all first encounters is Discord, bro.
Feel old? Skype was pretty much Discord before Discord was Discord. I got a message from a friend of mine who I played Minecraft with, and I was terrified, so I told my parents, and then my parents reported it to the school. And the school had to do a whole announcement where they told the kids that it would be fine and that it was just a chain message, and they explained what it was. But I was scared shit.
Yo, imagine having to stop your class. Imagine having to stop the whole school just to explain to some of your students that the messages that they're receiving are fake. Like, bro, chill. Like, I know they said they're gonna literally show up to your doorstep and boom your shit, but bro, that's not real. Go on about your day.
Shitless when I read that message. This was on our family computer. Remember family computers? I literally broke the chain. I was half expecting to die that night. Anyway, if you're watching this video and you're in like middle school, you might end up seeing these, but just know they're bullshit, ignore them, and tell the guy who sent it to you that he's a clown. Moving on, we've got the deep...
And you know what's so crazy? My little brother actually sent me a chain like message a couple of days ago, and it's just so funny seeing how the younger generation grows up, because it's like, bro, you're doing shit that I used to do when I was a jit. So it's kind of just funny seeing everything come full circle, and then I low-key just imagine how his childhood is compared to mine, and then I also compare like my childhood to how my mom's could have been, bro, and how she would like look at me. We got a brother, he's like my step brother. We got the same dad, so I guess he kind of is my brother. He's like my stepbrother, though.
End of the swimming pool. The moment you got to the part of the pool where your feet could no longer touch the ground, something happens to your brain. Like, I could know for a fact that there's nothing below me, but the second I look underneath, my brain would start making up the worst shit possible. Like, I'd randomly start thinking there's a shark swimming behind me, or that something was about to grab my leg. And then because I'm so scared, I'd start swimming back to the shallow end, like my life depended on it. It doesn't make sense. Like, this is not logical.
Bro, drowning is something that I never want to ever experience, bro. Like, I think I've only drowned like twice when I was swimming. And the first time taught me how to fucking swim. Because my dumbass, I was at my apartment complex with my mom, and it was the pool area, and then it was a little waterfall on top with like I wouldn't want to call it a hot tub, but it was like an additional pool area. And you could like jump off the top part into the, you know what I mean? Like you could jump off the fucking top of the waterfall into the lower part of the pool. So I was like about 7 or 8 and I couldn't fucking swim. So my dumbass thought it'd be a good idea to jump off that bitch. And my mom was fucking screaming, trying to save me, bro. Gift 5 subs to Strat or Carmen Winston will come to your house and kill you.
At all, especially if it's a pool. A shark wouldn't even fit in the pool. And if a shark could fit, trust me, you'd notice it, okay? I've had some close calls, though. I've been in pools where there's been, like, frogs or dead animals at the bottom that I see because I've got my goggles on. And that alone is enough to keep this fear alive.
Yo, on God, if I was to ever get into a pool and see dead animals, I'm reporting the whole fucking apartment complex. I'm bombing the whole fucking area.
So I think the only way to overcome this fear is to literally swim to the bottom yourself with swim goggles on and look and see that there's nothing there. But yeah, statistically, you're more likely to run into a human predator in a pool than an ocean predator. Just saying, a lot of those local community pools got some weirdo old guys just looking at little kids, okay? It's strange. All right, next up.
Yeah, I'm never trusting a fat nigga in a Speedo who's sitting on the bench getting a tan in. Be on the lookout for those niggas, bro, because they probably watching a 12-year-old walk past them, bro.
We have not getting picked up at school. Everyone at one point, I feel like, was the last kid left at school if you didn't take the bus home. Most days I would take the bus home from elementary school, but some days I would have to have my...
Now, I wouldn't call this a fear, but I would say that it sucks. As someone who had to be the last kid to get picked up multiple times in my high school career from football practice, it definitely does suck. And then you don't want to be that guy who's asking for a ride all the time just because your parents refuse to pick you up from school. And it's not that my mom didn't want to pick me up from school. It was more the fact that whenever she would get off of work, I'd already be off of practice and she had to do a 30-minute drive to come pick me up. So some days I have to walk 30 minutes to my own house.
Parents pick me up, and
That
once in a
was
while,
insecure,
I was
though.
the last kid at school. And that thought runs through your mind when you're a kid, like, what if my new life is just at school forever? What if I never get picked up and I get touched by the janitor?
Who has thought of that? Who has ever thought of that, bro? 30 minutes ain't bad. Yeah, 30-minute walk back to the crib isn't bad when you're in Texas heat and it's 98 degrees, but it really feels like 110. And you have a fat-ass backpack on with 4 binders and fucking 7 textbooks. And you're walking on the side of the road as if you're a fucking hitchhiker. That don't sound too bad, though.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, this is not a prank. Life's unfair.
I've never had a creepy janitor, though.
Everyone knows the feeling of just sitting around waiting for your parents to come pick you up. You're like watching every car that drives by the school, and then you see if it pulls into the school parking lot, and you hope that's your car. And every single
Yo, you getting pump faked out by every car that passes you is crazy.
time it wasn't.
That
and you
shit
start
sucks.
thinking and wondering if something happened to your parents or if they just forgot about you. Whole time they're just like caught in traffic for 10 minutes. But as a kid, you'd already accepted that you were going to be living at the school from
Yo, low-key's kinda spitting, bruh. Cause I never really, like, thought of it like this.
now on. Okay, another one that I had growing up was thinking someone was watching me through the window at night. Obviously looking out your window.
Yeah, I've never thought about this shit, bro. I never thought somebody was looking into my window, bruh. You know what I mean?
During the daytime is completely normal, but at night things get weird because you can't see anything besides complete darkness, and everyone's already afraid of the dark, so this is like a 2-in-1. It's like fear of the unknown twice, because you don't know what's outside your window, you do know what's inside your room, and what's outside the window is dark as hell. So your brain just starts making things up, like you see a tree or some random shadow, and you convince yourself that it's a person standing there staring at you. What makes this one so much worse is if you're just scared of the dark normally, like in your bedroom, you just turn on the lights for a little bit, know that everything's okay, and then you figure it out. If you're scared of looking outside the window, it's not like there's a switch you can flip to turn on the sun, you know? You just gotta thug it out, which is quite brutal. Oh, another thing that used to scare me as a kid was hearing a random noise, like in the house at night.
Yo, actually, hearing a random noise in the middle of the night doesn't scare me. And I realized that if I was in a horror movie, I'd be the first one to die, and now I see why black people are the first people to die. Cause my dumbass be wanting to check it out. Cause you know, I'm the man of the house. So obviously, like, I'm alone right now. If I were to hear something outside, like fall or something, nigga, I'm going to see what the fuck it is. I don't give a fuck, cause who the fuck in my house? You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be pussy? In my own crib? I'll throw this candle at this nigga and light him on fire. I'm just saying.
Again, like, this is one of the things where during the day, I don't know what it is, I think the house makes the same damn sounds, but either you don't notice or you don't care, but the moment you gotta sleep, every little sound becomes suspicious. What will usually happen is after the first sound when you're trying to sleep, you're just kind of like hyper alert for the next 5 minutes to see if there's a follow-up sound, just to confirm if there's any actual
Shit.
danger. If you hear a
Shit, not me, bro. If I hear some shit, I'd be like, actually, no, he spin, because sometimes I'll like hear something, I'm like, and I'll go back to sleep.
second sound, it's over. You're not getting out of bed. You're pulling the whole sheet over your head, trying to like hide in that blanket as if like there's a home intruder, like he just won't notice you or something. Well, yeah, I'm a burglar and I was gonna kill everybody in this house, but
Sometimes I do think about situations like this where a potential like burglar could come into my house, and I think of the spots where I think he wouldn't look. So over here where my door is, there's 2 walls. So I was thinking like maybe if someone were to ever come into my room, I could just like Spider-Man my way to the top, and then whenever he opens the door, I can just like land on that nigga on some like surprise sneak attack shit. But I probably would die.
I can't seem to find the person in this bedroom. I mean, I could check under the sheet, but why would he be there? Another thing that definitely scared a lot of us growing up was Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And if you've ever watched this as a kid, it basically looked like a completely normal children's show at first.
Bro, this shit confused the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've watched this a couple times legit, and I still don't really understand it.
First, it had these like colorful puppets singing songs, and they would teach you different lessons, so you wouldn't think anything was wrong with it. But then like halfway through the video, everything would randomly start getting disturbing. And if you found this on YouTube when you were like 8 years old and you had no idea what you were about to watch, this shit was terrifying. Like for kids growing up in the late 2000s to early 2010s.
Oh my god, Vivo? Niggas still do Vivo shits? Oh, no, this is an old YouTube layout, bruh.
Bro, you would see some very disturbing shit on YouTube back in the day. And this wasn't the only weird animation.
Oh, nah, Salad Fingers? This little nigga creeped me out, I ain't gonna lie.
On the internet. Like this other thing called Salad Fingers. You may have heard of this one. This thing was on a
This nigga and Rusty Spoons, yeah, he was one of them ones that creeped me the fuck out.
Completely different level. This had this green skinny dude who lived in the middle of nowhere, and he talked in the creepiest voice imaginable, and he had this obsession with touching rusty spoons. Nothing about the videos made any sense at all. Like you'd be watching this dude walk around talking to himself and doing the weirdest shit possible, and the fact that it made no sense just made it more disturbing. The whole video just felt like you were watching something that you—
Like who comes up with the concept of these things? Like, if you really think about it, there be some creepy ass niggas in this world, because how do we just allow these people to make these creepy things and we're just okay with it, bro?
We're not supposed to be watching. There's also videos with real people on like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Oh yeah, shit like this is fucking creepy, I ain't gonna lie.
And Salad Fingers, like Blank Room Soup and Obey the Walrus. I'm not even gonna play those because those still freak me out, but Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared and Salad Fingers.
I think we literally watched a video on both of these.
Those are fine. Alright, these next one aren't like horror fears, but getting lost in the supermarket as a kid would always really startle me. When you're a kid, the supermarket can—
Oh no, that shit scared the fuck out of me, bruh. I don't care. There's been multiple times where I've deadass been so lost in the store that me and my parents are on two different fucking sides of the store.
seem endless. You know, there's like literally 30 rows in some of these stores. You don't know where to go. You could get kidnapped or just straight up forgotten about. Like, at least with kidnapping, someone wants you. Forget that. I mean, what if no one wants you? What if you're just like left to run around the store like a headless chicken for the rest of your life? First day of school was also pretty scary, but that's more like a, you know, nervousness and anxiety inducing. And then you become—
Shit, I was happy as fuck for the first day of school. I ain't gonna lie. Cause like it just feels like a breath of fresh air. Not the fact that I'm going back to school, but like I'm getting to see the people that I missed from summer. I'm getting to reconnect with motherfuckers. I'm getting to, like, you know what I mean?
An adult, and then your first day on the job isn't even scary. You just dread it, and it's like a humiliation ritual. So we, in some ways, even though we're scared of it, we kind of wish we could go back. Simpler times, you know, when our biggest fear was fucking Herobrine or something, rather than not showing up to work and getting fired.
How does this clip right here talk about not showing up to work?
Being out on the streets and homeless. Anyways, let me know what I missed down in the comments below.
Yo, what? But hey, W video, man, I ain't gonna lie. That was a good video, bro. W freaking video, man.